you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Michael Cashman.
Present.
Thomas Wood.
I'm here.
Charles Costick.
Here.
Dana Isabella.
Present.
James Coffey.
Here.
And Katie Colucci, myself. I'm present.
Thank you. Resolution 1 of 2025, accept the minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of November 21st of 2024, December 5th of 2024, and December 12th and 19th of 2024 be accepted and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Gostick. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. We are going to advance to resolution and then come back for public comment. Resolution 2, the resolution to fill the vacancy of town council.
Whereas a vacancy exists on the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board for the position of councilperson, now therefore be resolved that in pursuance of the power vested in the Town Board, Daniel A. Bosley, a duly qualified resident of said town, and is hereby appointed councilperson of the town to fill the vacancy existing in such office. Said appointment shall be effective immediately, and Mr. Bosley shall hold such office until December 31st of 2025. Be it further resolved that Mr. Bosley take an oath of office within 30 days of this resolution, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, a copy be put in Mr. Bosley personnel file, and a copy be sent to the state retirement board.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Gostick, is there a second?
Second.
Bella, any discussion? I just want to say that I think that he will be a fine public servant. We're looking forward to having him on the town team. So let's get to this. Can I get a roll call?
Thomas Wood.
Yes.
Charles Costick.
Yes.
Dana Isabella.
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes, so carried. At this point, I would like to ask Justice Joyce to come forward, along with Dan and members of his family, to administer the oath of office.
Left hand on the Bible. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Daniel A. Bosley,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of town councilperson
of town councilperson
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Bosley, you are welcome. You can join the dais.
He just got appointed. Congratulations. It's gonna be a nice fun time.
You come right up and sit next to me now.
Lots of things going on.
I do actually interrupt for a minute because he's got to sign this.
He does
Yeah.
have to sign that. Okay? And I will file it accordingly.
Here?
Yes, I will.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Joyce.
Joyce.
So long, good to see you.
Same here. The good thing is it's not often.
We just want to see you in this part of the court,
Yeah, we
or
don't like-
the building, not downstairs.
Correct. Have a good day.
You too. All right. We're going to go back. Part of the reason we want to do this is we do understand that there may be some individuals from the public that are seeking to provide some public comment this evening. We want to have a full board here at the dais. The town board has a longstanding policy which encourages citizens to contact its elected supervisor and council members to address issues that involve the town. When members of the public desire to address the entire town board, the town of Plattsburgh hereby established a policy for comment period to allow those members of the public an additional opportunity to address the board. In addition to the public hearings, a special time is hereby set for purposes of receiving comments and suggestions from citizens. All comments made during the public comment period shall be subject to the following procedures, and there's a list up at the podium. A public comment period shall not exceed 30 minutes and will be held at the beginning of the regularly scheduled work session and board meetings. Speakers may but are not required to give their name, address, and organization. Speakers must be recognized by the presiding officer. Each person coming forward will speak up to 5 minutes to make his or her statement and may not yield any remaining time that they have to another speaker. Speakers shall address the board members from the podium and not approach the board or any other town employees. Council members, with the permission of the presiding officer, may ask questions of a speaker during or after remarks, but only for the purpose of for clarification of information. When a meeting is attended by a group of people who share the same opposing views on public commentary, the presiding officer may require a group designee, not more than 2 spokespersons, and limit the total time of comment to 10 minutes for each point of view, positive and negative. Statements are to be directed at the town board as a whole and not to individuals, and public comment is not intended to require board to provide any answers to the speaker. The speaker shall observe commonly accepted rules of courtesy, decorum, and dignity in good taste, and the town board may, by a majority vote, grant more time to a speaker on the topic. At this point, I would invite any members from the public seeking to provide public comment to the town board to raise their hand to be recognized, and I would ask you to come forward. Is there anyone seeking to provide comment to the town board this evening? Is there anyone seeking to provide comment to the town board this evening? Is there anyone seeking to provide comment to the town board this evening? Seeing that's no one seeking to provide comment this evening, I do have a statement that I do want to read because I think that there are some individuals that may be here tonight specifically due to a call to attend tonight's meeting, and I hope this will provide some information, both clarity and I'll just read the statement. Good evening, and thank you for coming together tonight to address the critical issue of homelessness in the region. On a personal note, my background is in counseling. I look at this from multiple perspectives. The town of Plattsburgh recognizes the challenges and the urgency of the situation. It is important to lay out some facts about how the town of Plattsburgh operates. We do not have paid law enforcement. Instead, we are served by the Clinton County Sheriff's Office as well as the New York State Police, but with no governing authority. Similarly, 5 fire departments protect our town through dedicated volunteer fire departments. Additionally, like many other towns and villages in New York, we do not offer direct social services. Instead, Clinton County manages the essential services such as the Department of Social Services, the Health Department, and public transportation, just to name a couple. It's important to clarify specifically that the encampment that many are concerned about exists on private property, which presents complex legal and logistical considerations. While the town's authority in such matters is limited, our commitment to fostering solutions and partnerships remains steadfast. Over the past decade, we have made substantial strides to combat housing insecurity, including seeing the development of affordable housing, initiatives like Atlas Heights, Northwoods, Ampersand Apartments. These developments have strengthened our housing capacity. However, we know the work is far from done. Last year, we held a housing symposium that had 120 people in attendance from 6 counties. We recognize there is a housing crisis in the nation and in the North Country in Clinton County. Homelessness is not confined to municipal boundaries. It requires a regional approach and a shared responsibility. We take immense pride in the work of our nonprofits, such as ETC Housing Corporation, BHSN, NAMI, MHAB Life Skills Campus, United Way, and many, many others. These organizations provide pivotal services, including emergency, transitional housing, mental health, counseling, addiction recovery support, and life skill development. The MHAB Life Skills Campus in particular exemplifies the innovation and compassion. It stands as a testament of how structure and support can help individuals rebuild their lives while addressing housing challenges with dignity. This is one reason that I'm pleased that DSS, or Clinton County DSS, will be operating a warming station at the MHAB campus in partnership with some agencies. Dispelling misconceptions about homelessness, many individuals face systemic barriers such as unaffordable housing, health or mental health crisis, domestic violence, unforeseen financial hardships. By dispelling these harmful stigmas, we can cultivate empathy and create a space for meaningful solutions. The town of Plattsburgh actively participates in regional programs to address homelessness. Recently, my team attended a stakeholders convening in December with the New York Office of Temporary Disability down in DSS. The hope is more projects can be on the horizon. However, lasting change requires collective action at every level, local, county, state, and federal. Homelessness is a humanitarian challenge that affects far too many. Together, we can continue to build a network of support that uplifts our neighbors and provides lasting, practical solutions for housing insecurity. Thank you for your compassion and commitment to being in charge of our community's needs and being change makers. Being here alone is a huge step. Let me be clear, we are not abdicating our responsibilities. Rather, we are operating within a framework of jurisdiction, available resources, and our governance structure to allow us to collaborate and address community needs. All right? So I very much appreciate folks being here today. Since no one was seeking comment this evening, we will conclude with the public comment. But I do want to let you know that I have also prepared for individuals, if you are interested, to take it. It is a very short list. This is not an all-inclusive, but it's a one sheet. It's how you can make a difference. It's got 6 points and resources. I'll just read off the headers. There's opportunities on how you can volunteer your time. There's a way to donate goods or funds. How to offer your expertise. Every person in this room, I would dare say, has some form of expertise. Explore careers in social services. Our social services area needs great people with compassion in the field to help in this area and many others. There's also things like using simple tools such as the United Way's 211 phone line. And then finally, there's some resources for some of the partners that we have worked with, including DSS, ETC Housing, NAMI, MHAB, BHSN, and St. Joe's Outreach Center. That one I just want to talk about briefly. We have been a long-time participant with JCEO, where they have an outreach coordinator, where the town actually provides some nominal funding to support that. And St. Joe's has become a very significant component of outreach in our community. We recognize that, and we'll continue to support it. So through our multi-pronged approach, we recognize there's an issue. We continue to do what we can with the resources in the areas, but if people are interested in getting more involved, and I also welcome people to call me, and I'd be happy to have some further conversation. So with that, we'll conclude the public comment period, and we'll get into the rest of it. I'm just going to stick this on the table over here in case anyone's interested. All right. Advancing to resolution 3, the abstract.
Resolved that the abstract of audited claims number 1A-2025 for 2024 in the amount of $97,443.43. Abstract 1A-2025 prepays for 2024 in the amount of $4,045.26. And number 1A-2025 for 2025 in the amount of $8,949.14. Be received as reviewed by the audit committee, and the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
I'll stick. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carries. Resolution 4, the monthly department reports.
Resolved to receive and place on file the monthly department head reports for the following departments. For November of 2024, we have Buildings and Grounds, the Codes and Zoning Department, the Dog Control Officer, Highway Superintendent, Parks and Recreation for November and December of 2024. We also have a supervisor's financial report for November of 2024, as well as the town clerk for November of 2024.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'm gonna give it to Wood and Cossack. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 5, supervisor to retain the original of all correspondence.
Resolved that the supervisor be authorized to retain the originals of correspondence he receives and file photocopies with the town clerk.
Is there a motion? Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 6, supervisor to be in charge of all special districts.
Resolved that the supervisor, Michael S. Cashman, and in his absence, the deputy supervisor shall be in charge of all special districts, which includes water, sewer, ambulance, stormwater management districts, consolidated highway district, and lighting district pursuant to section 29 of town law.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Cossack, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 7, supervisor to act as the chief financial officer for the town of Plattsburgh.
Resolved that the supervisor, Michael S. Cashman, as the chief fiscal officer for the year 2025, be authorized and directed to deposit idle monies into interest-bearing accounts or to purchase certificates of deposits from any town funds, including special districts in the Adirondack Bank, Key Bank of New York, TD Bank, Glens Falls National Bank and Trust Company, Champlain National Bank, NBT Bank, NICLAS, Jeffries LLC, Harborside Financial, Piper Sandler and Co., or Community Bank pursuant to section 64, subdivision 1 of town law, and be it further resolved that general highway and special district funds be deposited in checking accounts with the aforementioned banks, with offices located in the town of Plattsburgh for year 2025, or any other bank that provides the necessary collateral as required by audit and control. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 8, authorized to pay public utility services claims.
Resolved that pursuant to section 118 of town law, the supervisor be authorized to pay claims for public utility services, electric, gas, water, sewer, fuel, oil, and telephone, postage, freight, and express charges before they are audited. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, Cossack, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 9, purchase procedures for goods and services.
Resolved that the town of Plattsburgh adopted procedure policies as indicated in the town's official policy book. Shall be the procedures to be followed by all elected and appointed officials and town employees for the year of 2025. For the purchase of commodities, equipment, or goods for the public works projects contract, Schedule B, for professional services and consultants, for purchase order policy and cash disbursements, procedures, and it is further resolved that the town board does hereby authorize and order that the purchase order policies and cash disbursement procedures as outlined in Schedules A, B, C, and D shall become the policy and procedures to be followed by the town of Plattsburgh personnel for purchase orders and cash disbursements for the year of 2025. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Cossack, Wood, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Resolution carries. Resolution 10, petty cash for town officials.
Resolved that pursuant to section 64 of town law, petty cash funds be established for the town officials for 2025 as follows. The finance manager has 100, the town clerk has 200, the receiver of taxes and assessments has 400, and the town justices have 100 each. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Cossack, Isabella, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Resolution carries. Resolution 11, salaries and payday for elected and appointed officials.
Resolved that pursuant to section 27 of town law, all elected and appointed officials shall be paid bi-weekly on Wednesdays beginning January 2nd of 2025, with the exception of the town attorney, counselors, historian, and town justices, who will be paid on the last payroll of each month. Be further resolved that the salaries of all elected and appointed officials be fixed as indicated by the approved budget for 2025, and a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Cossack, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Resolution 12, town board meetings for 2025.
Resolved that the regular monthly and semi-monthly meetings for the town board be held on the first and third Thursday respectively of each month at 6 p.m. prevailing time in the town hall of the town of Plattsburgh on 151 Banker Road, Plattsburgh, New York. It is further resolved that informal work session meetings of the town board shall be held on the second and fourth Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. prevailing time in the town hall of the town of Plattsburgh at 151 Banker Road, Plattsburgh, New York, pursuant to section 62 of town law. It is further resolved that on occasion, the town board will meet 15 minutes earlier to distribute material to counselors and prepare for the meeting. And be it further resolved that in the event that there is a fifth Tuesday in any month, meetings will be scheduled at the discretion of the supervisor. Be it further resolved that due to holidays and conflicts, the town board does hereby change the dates of its respective scheduled meetings as follows. There will be no meetings on Thursday, June 19th, Thursday, November 27th, Thursday, December 25th of 2025, and tentatively no meeting on Thursday, January 1st of 2026.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Gossick, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, any discussion?
This is just including the ones for the fifth Thursday.
No, those are specifically the date ones are called out because of their holidays. If a month has a fifth Thursday, we don't list the date of the fifth Thursday. We just do the holiday ones.
I was just curious, because, May, it says 5/29, no meeting. So I kind of thought that,
I don't know what you're talking about, Tom.
just May and
Oh,
January.
that's a draft one, that's not directly connected to that,
Okay.
yep. So, is there a motion, any further discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries, thank you. Resolution 13, naming of the official town newspaper.
Resolved that pursuant to section 64 of town law, the Press Republican be named as the official newspaper for the town of Plattsburgh.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Ossick, any discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 14, appointment of a fair housing officer.
Whereas the Office of Fair Housing and Equal Opportunity administers federal laws and establishes national policies to assure that all Americans have equal access to the housing of their choice. And whereas the town of Plattsburgh wishes to have an officer who will implement and enforce the Fair Housing Act, and whereas the town supervisor on behalf of the town board recommends the appointment of Steve Imhoff as the Fair Housing Officer for the town of Plattsburgh to serve at the pleasure of the supervisor and the town board, therefore be it resolved that Steve Imhoff be assigned to oversee that fair housing regulations are followed and act as the primary point of contact for all fair housing related issues. Be it further resolved that Mr. Imhoff take an oath of office within 30 days of his appointment, and a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, the LDC board, and a copy be placed in his personnel file.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Ossick, Isabella, any discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor, please say aye.
No.
Okay. Resolution 15, fire district liaisons for 2025.
Whereas the town board of the town of Plattsburgh desires to maintain effective communications with the various fire districts and volunteer fire departments situated within the town of Plattsburgh, and provide to each fire district and department a town board member as liaison. Now therefore be it resolved that Councilor Daniel A. Bosley be appointed to serve, to serve as the town liaison with the Fire District Number 3 and District Number 3 Fire Department. It is further resolved that Councilor Dana M. Isabella be appointed to serve as town liaison with the Katyville Fire District and Katyville Fire Department. It is further resolved that Councilor Thomas E. Wood be appointed to serve as a town liaison with the Morrisonville Fire District and Morrisonville Fire Department. It is further resolved that Councilor Charles A. Costick be appointed to serve as the town liaison with the South Plattsburgh Fire District and South Plattsburgh Fire Department. It is further resolved that Supervisor Michael S. Cashman be appointed to serve as a town liaison with the Cumberland Head Fire District and Cumberland Head Fire Departments.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Ossick, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella, any discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor, please say aye. Resolution carries. Resolution 16, committee appointments for 2025.
Resolved that Councilors Daniel Bosley and Daniel Isabella be appointed to serve on the Assessing, Planning, and Zoning Committee. This committee shall assist with rezoning, updating zoning, and matters concerning assessing. It is further resolved that Councilors Daniel Bosley and Daniel Isabella be appointed to serve on the Auditing Committee. This committee shall examine all vouchers presented to the town board for payment. It is further resolved that Councilor Dana Isabella be appointed to serve on the Finance Committee for the year, and is to report to the town supervisor and town board its findings. It is further resolved that the Councilors Charles Costick and Dana Isabella be appointed to serve on the Buildings and Grounds Committee. This committee shall make reports and recommendations on all town buildings and properties, including special districts. It is further resolved that Councilors Thomas Wood and Daniel Bosley be appointed to serve as liaison for the Justice Court, Town Clerk, and Tax Receiver Committee. This committee shall advise and support the operations of the Town Court, Town Clerk, and Tax Receiver offices, and make reports of conditions and recommendations to the Town Board. And it is further resolved that Councilors Charles Costick and Daniel Bosley be appointed to serve on the Community Services and Ambulance Committee for the year 2024. This committee shall concern itself with liaison and cooperation with municipalities and ambulance service providers in matters of joint service issues that may be presented to the Town Board. It is further resolved that Councilors Thomas Wood and Dana Isabella be appointed to serve on the Highway Committee. This committee is to observe the conditions on all highway equipment, road signs, and town highways, and thereby report to the Town Superintendent of Highways and to the Town Board on said conditions and recommendations. It is further resolved that Councilor Charles Costick and Daniel Bosley be appointed to serve on the Safety and Personnel Committee. This committee shall review all reported employee accidents, advise the office staff, preside over employee safety meetings, and make reports and recommendations to the Town Board. It is further resolved that Councilors Thomas Wood and Charles Costick be appointed to serve on the Water and Wastewater Committee. This committee shall inspect the water and sewer facilities and make a report of conditions and recommendations to the Water and Wastewater Director and the Town Board. It is further resolved that Councilors Thomas Wood and Charles Costick be appointed to serve on the Youth Services and Recreation Committee. This committee shall advise the Youth Services and Recreation Director to make a report of conditions and recommendations to the Town Board.
Hold on.
I've been practicing, not enough.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Costick, is there a second?
Second.
Isabella? Any discussion?
Yes, in general, we are liaisons to these committees, it seems to me, and we don't necessarily have the expertise to know what equipment is good and and the conditions of all the roadways and stuff. Just want to make it noted, I've said this before, we're a liaison, we work with them, we
Yep.
check with them, make sure things are done, and when they have a problem, that's fine, but, I don't have the expertise.
Yeah, we're not asking you to be somebody in the trades. In Tom, this language really, in large part, is a carryover. But as an example, I would use is the time to observe the conditions of all highway, road signs and stuff. Realistically, there should be a requirement on a yearly basis that the liaisons work with highway superintendent to make sure that we're capturing what roads are going to be paved and so on and so forth. So yes, that's good. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye, please.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 17, appointment of a Town of Plattsburgh delegate for the 2025 Association of Towns Annual Meeting and Training School.
Whereas training for municipal employees and officials is being held in New York City, February 16th through the 19th of 2025, and as a member of the Association of Towns, the Town of Plattsburgh has certain privileges. Therefore, be it resolved that Michael S. Cashman be appointed to the official representative of the Town of Plattsburgh and be allowed to cast their vote on behalf of the town at the 2025 annual meeting and training school of the Association of Towns, and Charles A. Costick be the alternate delegate if needed. And be further resolved that copies of this resolution be given to Michael S. Cashman and Charles A. Costick, and that one be placed in each of the personnel files, and that the supervisor is complete the certificate of designation noting himself as the official town delegate.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella?
Second.
Bosley? Okay, you doing new initials. I'm like, any further discussion? Or any discussion, I should say. Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. All right. 18, community partnership between the Town of Plattsburgh Recreation Program and the Clinton County Youth Bureau.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Parks and Recreation Department would like to continue its community partnership with the Clinton County Youth Bureau in order to strengthen existing cooperation and further develop activities focused on recreational opportunities for the residents in the Town of Plattsburgh. And whereas the Clinton County Youth Bureau has recently made changes to their fiscal year, and it is necessary to maintain authorization to allow the supervisor to sign materials associated with continuing our community partnership throughout the year. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board does hereby authorize the supervisor to sign any materials associated with the community partnership agreement for recreation service program on behalf of the Town of Plattsburgh. and the Clinton County Youth Bureau for services throughout 2025. And it is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Clinton County Youth Bureau, Finance Manager, and Parks and Recreation Department.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 19, Town of Plattsburgh Website Management Independent Contract Consultative Agreement.
Whereas the consulting firm Kimball Services LLC, located at 15 Duke Avenue, Kaysville, New York, has prepared and submitted a proposal between the Town of Plattsburgh and Kimball Services to provide website development and management on a contractual basis for 2025. Therefore be it resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Municipal Corporation, organized and existing under and by virtue of the laws of the state of New York, with offices and principal place of business at 151 Bankers Road, Plattsburgh, New York, party of the first part, and David Kimmel, the contractor, now residing at 15 Duke Avenue, Kaysville, New York, party of the second part, in consideration of the promises, mutual covenants, and agreement attached, do hereby mutually agree to the attached agreement, and be further resolved that Mr. Kimmel is an independent contractor and shall not be considered an employee or agent for the town, and as contractor is hereby prohibited from the signing, transferring, conveying, subletting, or otherwise disposing of this agreement or his right, title, or interest herein. Be it further resolved that after review by the town attorney, the supervisor is duly authorized and empowered to execute the attached agreement on behalf of the town of Plattsburgh. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution and said agreement be given to the finance manager and Mr. Kimmel.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella Sopcich. Any discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 20, Drug and Alcohol Testing Program Agreement.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh desires to implement a drug and alcohol program according to the U.S. Department of Transportation Highway Administration for current and prospective employees of the town who are required to have a commercial driver's license and operate a commercial vehicle as stated in federal regulations and all others as per New York State law and town policy. And whereas Industrial Med Testing, located at 220 Tom Miller Road, Plattsburgh, New York, operates an occupational medicine service for the performance of drug and alcohol testing services to employers and other organizations. And whereas the town of Plattsburgh desires to contract with Industrial Med Testing to provide such services to the employees of the town of Plattsburgh. And whereas the term of this agreement shall be for 1 year, commencing on January 1st of 2025, and Industrial Med Testing shall provide the services set forth in the contract attached hereto and made a part hereof. By reference therefore, be it resolved that the supervisor be approved to enter into the attached agreement with Industrial Med Testing, and a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, designated employer representative, Industrial Med, and Gallagher Insurance.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Wood. Wow. All's in favor, any discussion? All's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 21, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into an agreement with James J. Coffey Esquire to provide legal services. Who is this man?
I don't know. Whereas the town of Florida, the town of Plattsburgh wishes to retain the service of James J. Coffey Esquire as an independent contractor that is an appointed official to provide legal services on behalf of the town. Whereas James J. Coffey Esquire has offered to provide legal services to the town, and whereas the town desires to retain James J. Coffey to perform these legal services. Now therefore, the town board of the town of Plattsburgh, in regular session duly convened, does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute the attached agreement with James J. Coffey Esquire to furnish and perform legal services for the town, which are the subject of the attached agreement. For the above services as outlined, the attorney will submit an appropriate voucher to the town for audit and payment of the legal services rendered during the prior month. 3, James J. Coffey Esquire will be entitled to protection under the public officials liability policy of the town, and 4, the resolution shall take effect immediately.
Did we have no counsel up until this point?
You're on your own.
All
Just
night.
for- just for
Golly,
today.
Yeah.
And yesterday.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second? Wood. Before we accept this, I just want to thank you, Jim, for the work. The last several years, we've taken on some pretty big challenges together, and just appreciate you being at the table, providing perspective and guidance.
Well, thank you.
And I would say it's always a pleasure, Jim, and you always make yourself available if we need something. So we
Yeah, we
appreciate
root
it.
for the right team, so it's okay.
All right, can I get a roll call, please?
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Charles Costick,
Yes.
Dana Isabella.
Yes.
Daniel Bosley.
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes, resolution is carried.
No.
You actually go with like Anderson?
Much easier.
25, Justice Court contract with the Clinton County Sheriff's Department.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh Justice Court has requested authorization for the renewal of the annual contract with the Clinton County Sheriff's Department to provide court security services to the town justice courts. And whereas the said services are necessary due to the volume and nature of cases handled within the court system. Now therefore it is resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh, upon approval of the town attorney and insurance carrier, does hereby authorize the supervisor to enter into a contract for services. It is further resolved that compensation will be paid at an hourly rate of $36.67 and a time and a half rate of $55 to be made payable from the 2025 Justice Court budget. And be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and town justices.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Awesome. And discussion?
Did it cost it? It was cost it? Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Mr.
I
Williams
think he's
wanted to
closer to you, you're hearing the mumble.
With-
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 23, White Knight Kennels Agreement for 2025.
Whereas on occasion it is necessary for the dog control officers to kennel stray dogs and provide other kennel services as appropriate and approved by the supervisor, therefore be it resolved that after the town attorney's review, the supervisor be authorized to sign an agreement between White Knight Kennels LLC and the town of Plattsburgh to follow the provision of Article 7 of the Agriculture and Markets Law and any rules and regulation promulgated pursuant thereto in relation to the seizure, holding, care, redemption, and disposition of seized dog in the town of Plattsburgh. Be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, the town clerk, and the owner of White Knight Kennels LLC, Jody Burton.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
No? Any discussion? I just want to personally give huge kudos to Jody. I think Katie would agree with me. The region, not just the town, but the region was in a really unique predicament with some of the changes that are occurring in Elmore SPCA, and that's not a finger wagging at them. There's just a variety of stuff going on, and state requirements and stuff like that. And Jody's experience in this arena and his ability really is quite a benefit to us and the entire region. So, and it's been quite successful so far. So, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution does carry. Resolution 24, agreement with Eagles Nest Veterinary Services for dangerous dogs in the town of Plattsburgh.
Whereas on occasion it is necessary for the dog control officer to kennel dangerous dogs and provide other kennel services as appropriate and approved by the supervisor. And whereas Eagles Nest Veterinary Hospital has submitted a renewal agreement to the town for service from January 1st of 2025 to June 30th of 2025 with a retainer of $500 as stated in the agreement. Therefore, be it resolved that after the town's attorney's review, the supervisor be authorized to sign an agreement between Eagles Nest Veterinary Services and the town of Plattsburgh to meet the regulations from agricultural and markets concerning dangerous dogs and any rules and regulation promulgated pursuant thereto in relation to the seizure, holding, care, redemption, and disposition of seized dogs in the town of Plattsburgh. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the dog control officer, the town clerk, and Eagles Nest Veterinary located at 34 Skylight Plaza in Plattsburgh, New York.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Buzzard? I do want to note, you'll see from January 1st to June 30th is anticipated that they may be transitioning out of those services, so we may be going to White Knight Kennel for that service. So I just, don't be surprised in around June or July that, something comes back up for this item, okay? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 25, Employment Assistance Services, or EAS.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh has had an annual contract with the Clinton County Mental Health Association doing business as employee assistance services, whereby agency provides informational services to the town as an employer, and among other services, provides counseling to employees of the town. And whereas the agency will submit to the town its Town of Plattsburgh Employee Assistance Services Annual Report from January 1st of 2025 to January 31st of 2025, upon completion in December of 2025. And whereas the town board has provided within the general fund of the town of Plattsburgh 2025 budget sufficient funds to pay for the renewal of a one-year contract with the agency, now therefore it is resolved that the one-year renewal contract submitted by the agency is approved and the supervisor is authorized to execute the same for the town for the year of 2025. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Bostic, Wood, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Resolution carries. Resolution 26, Hometown Heroes 2025 Banner Award.
Whereas Resolution 024 of 254 authorized the town of Plattsburgh to seek proposals from qualified vendors having experience in providing avenue banners for our Hometown Heroes banner program. And whereas the town of Plattsburgh did receive proposals from 3 vendors, however, the proposals did not provide the required services in connection with the needs identified in the RFP. And whereas it has been determined that it is in the best interest of the town to reject all proposals. Now therefore be it resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to release another request for proposal with a deadline of 2 weeks from the published date. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Planning and Community Development Department and the Finance Manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Bosley. Is there a second?
Second.
Osnick. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 27, publish a request for the proposals intended for vendor avenue banners for Hometown Heroes banner program.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh is seeking proposals from qualified vendors having experience in providing avenue banners for our Hometown Heroes banner program, and whereas bidders should be familiar with the program and be able to supply 36 inches by 72 inch double-sided vinyl avenue banners with individual pictures and information per banner, including sign brackets, bands, and poles. And whereas the town of Plattsburgh will rank the responses received on an evaluation of experience and price with no minimum order quantities. The town of Plattsburgh reserves the right to reject any or all proposals and to conduct interviews at its sole discretion. Responses must be sealed and marked Hometown Hero banner vendor and received at the town of Plattsburgh by January 17th of 2025 at 2 p.m. Additional information regarding this request for proposals may be obtained by calling the town clerk's office at 518-562-6830 during business hours Monday through Friday, or going to the town of Plattsburgh website. Now therefore is resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh does hereby authorize the supervisor to solicit and receive informal bid proposals for qualified vendors having experience in providing avenue banners. And the town clerk post notice on the town clerk's bulletin board and post on the town's website. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the town planning and community development department and the town clerk.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Osnick, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mosley. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 28, authorize the highway superintendent to enter a shared service agreement between New York State DOT and the town of Plattsburgh for 2025 to 2029.
Whereas the attached agreement between the people of the state of New York, hereinafter referred to as the state, or NYSDOT, and the town of Plattsburgh, referred to as municipality, wish to have the power and authority to contract for the purpose of renting, leasing, exchanging, borrowing, or maintaining of machinery and equipment, with or without operators, and, with other governmental entity. And whereas it is in the intent of the town of Plattsburgh Town Board to give the highway superintendent the authority to enter into this agreement with persons serving in similar capacities without the necessity of obtaining approval of the town board prior to making of each individual arrangement. Whereas it is hereby determined that it will be in the best interest of the town of Plattsburgh to be a party to such shared services arrangements, thereby saving the taxpayers' money. Now therefore be resolved that the chief executive officer of the town of Plattsburgh is hereby authorized to sign on behalf of the town of Plattsburgh a shared services agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation upon the town attorney approving the said contract. Be it further resolved that the resolution become effective immediately, and copy of this resolution and final executed agreement be given to the finance manager, highway superintendent, and for placement in the policy handbook, and that the town clerk execute this agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Bella, is there a second?
Second.
Wood. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 29, typing secret action as type 1 for environmental review purposes.
Whereas at its regularly scheduled meeting on August 15th of 2024, the town of Plattsburgh Town Board received a planned development district application from ARKW LLC for parcel number 205.3-2.1. And whereas pursuant to Article 9, of the town of Plattsburgh zoning ordinance, all planned development district applications shall be referred to the town of Plattsburgh Planning Board for a report and recommendation thereon. And whereas on August 15th of 2024, the town board referred said PBD application to the town of Plattsburgh Planning Board for a report and recommendation in accordance with Article 9 of the town of Plattsburgh zoning ordinance. And whereas on August 20th of 2024, the planning board by resolution number 24-50 did receive the referred PBD application. And whereas after review and consideration of the application, the draft report prepared by staff and the public comments received at the public hearing held on September 17th of 2024 by the planning board, resolved to transmit the report and meeting minutes to the town board. And whereas the town board is now in receipt of said planning board report, and whereas Part 617 of the Environmental Conservation Law, the State Environmental Quality Review Act, also known as SEQR, provides for the review of any action to determine the effect of the action on the environment, along with any related administrative procedures for the implementation, authorization, or approval of the action. Whereas determination of the effect of said action on the environment will be necessary to determine whether a draft environmental impact statement is required, and whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board is identified as an involved agency in accordance with SEQR for the purpose of assessing the effect of this planned development district on the environment, and whether or not said effect is significant enough to warrant the preparation of a draft environmental impact statement. And whereas the town board has made the determination that they intend to act as lead agency under SEQR for the purposes of the planned development district application and have received the required long environmental assessment form, EAF. And whereas the town board of the town of Plattsburgh is required to review and use the EAF to determine the significance of said proposed planned development district. And whereas on October 17th of 2024, the town board did previously incorrectly identify the project to be an unlisted action. And whereas after additional analysis of the application and said project materials, the town board has identified the application to be a type 1 action under SEQR because it is greater than 25 acres in area. And whereas type 1 actions require coordinated review with involved agencies, and whereas the New York State DOT is the only involved agency identified by the board, and the board is coordinated with the New York State DOT and has received letters of comment by the project, on the project. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby declares itself as lead agency for the planned development district application, and does hereby determine that the proposed project is a type 1 action. And a coordinated review under SEQR has been conducted, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be provided to the planning department.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Bill, is there a second?
Second.
Tasik, any discussion?
Yes, in this case, had they originally gone for the 20, more than?
There was some unclarity, Tom, and that's why we said right from the beginning with this project that we were not going to put any jet fuel on it. We were gonna take our time to make sure that we're constantly looking at the information. So we got that clarity. It's why we are back to retype this with
So
that.
they did do a plan for the whole,
The layout now meets the current, layout of the seeker with those details. But, staff review and the way that it was typed and the way that it was looked, had some, some unclarity to it. And, what we wanted is in digging a little bit further, because we know that there are, like, and again, I said this before, I will not be voting on the final project because someone out of my office is one of the individuals that has some concerns with the project, not all, but some concerns. But we've been meticulously going through this, and it's why we've been putting this in the planning department. So,
we still will need to go back through, after the seeker, going back through the planning board.
oh yeah, yeah. Once things get to that final stage, every project, and I'll use Schluter as an example, right? There was a significant change in the land use type, et cetera, et cetera. That's probably not a good language either, but change there. The project itself still has to go through the planning process. So even if the whole project gets approved, they'll still have to go through the planning department. Yep. Anything further? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Resolution 30, update fixed assets policy.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh, town herein, is in need of updating its fixed asset policy, and whereas the finance manager has reviewed and updated the fixed asset policy to gain efficiencies and remain in compliance with New York State town law, now therefore it is resolved that the town board approve of the attached policy effective immediately, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Isabella, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none,
This was developed by,
the business office.
yeah,
Yep.
that's right, yeah.
Yep. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Resolution is carried. I know of no need to start off the new year with an executive session, which pleases me so.
It's just too bad, I mean, We can't have an executive.
Is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
I'll move that.
Would, is there a second?
Second.
I'm gonna be damn Bosley. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. We will adjourn tonight at 6:50 PM. Thank you very much, folks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you did. You made it, what about me? Sorry. Somebody give me a lozenge.
How did you not take a drink during that? Hi, I'm Virginia. I'm Dan.
It's my wife Virginia, by the way.
That's what I was waiting around to say.